Alaikum. Shalom. My Hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me say that one more time. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast today. We are so pleased that you have joined us. We have an important update for today's war briefing, beloved. Oh, yes, we do. We have an important update, an important show. And once again, this will be a dedication to the notorious LOM. Somebody say LOM, hashtag LOM. If you don't know, you'll know in a minute. Maybe some of the people in the chat will school you today. Somebody talk black to me. But family, we have a notorious, prominent White House. Did you hear what I said? We have a notorious White House, a prestigious. I said a prestigious. This is not an ordinary LOM member that we're getting ready to get into today. This is important, family. Our topic, because it's going to point to what we've been saying a long time. And this is pointing to the fall of America. We're highlighting these things because we want you to know that the world and the reality that we need to be focused on building for Black people. We're giving you more information, more reasons to understand, and understand why the solutions we're giving you about Black empowerment, building Black, and operating within this nation as our own nation. We're explaining to you why it's important. So family, before we get ready to get into our topic today, somebody talk black to me. This is what I posted on my Instagram page. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram at VickiX This is the LOM member at issue today. Yes, at issue. It's typically a court legal phrase that we're using. And how many of you all know I'm holding court today? So this is the LOM member at issue, Miss Symone Sanders, who I've been giving this everlasting work to for some time now. And I want to talk to you about the manifestation of a prediction that we in Black media have been making for some time now. Now, what I want to talk about, and I remember I told you guys a couple of days ago when I broke this news, I broke some of this news on my Twitter page. Follow me on Twitter at DillardVicki. And so a lot of times I'm putting stuff on Twitter anyway that I plan to talk about in the future. But I told you guys the other day that I'm going to be discussing this, and I mentioned a few other topics. I'm going to be discussing some things here pretty soon too, related, to the minister and some other stuff too. So y'all stay tuned. Well, this post that I put up on Miss Symone Sanders, it says, after tackling for Joe Biden, Symone Sanders is, quote, hurt he didn't make her press secretary. So let's get ready to get into some football. Are you ready for some football? Y'all ready for some football today? I forgot how they remember that commercial back in the day. They would say, are you ready for some football? I know y'all said, Vicky, I thought you couldn't stand sports. I really can't, but she brought sports into politics. So since Symone brought sports and football into politics, I have no choice but to, talk black to me. I got a quarterback today. We got to do some political quarterbacking. But before we do that, family, let's do just a little bit of housekeeping, beloved. As you come in, we do ask that you come in giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Why do we ask that you do that, beloved? Because it makes it more likely. It doesn't guarantee, but it makes it more likely that other folk will know that the Vicki Show is live right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people like you. We have dubbed our show, shout out to my day one, Kim, She told me a long, long time ago when I would talk about the white mainstream media, she says, sis, you are mainstream media. It's not just, of course, I tell you this all the time, just about the number or the quantity of people, though we appreciate our growth, but it's the quality of people that my goal, my desire is to form. But prime time, because what we're talking about is what ought to be talked about throughout this nation and frankly throughout the world. So it's the Black Prime Time, the Vicki Show, FlyNewBeanQueenTV.com, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I emphasize that I'm here weekdays at that time because I want you to set your alarms, put it on your calendars, because you all know that sometimes the platforms don't alert people. We're always getting complaints that folks can't find us, which is like what you consider to be like a shadow ban when it makes it difficult for folks to know that you're here as well. So when you like, when you share, you make it more likely that folk can find us. That's why I emphasize that. I repeat it throughout the broadcast because folk are coming in and out. And so I want them to engage and act and do the same. Thank you all so much. You're tuned in to your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillon, and I'm so honored and pleased by your presence. Family, also, I want you to know for my sisters who missed last Saturday's amazing 2-hour, it was the finale to my 3-part series, The Secret Money in Your Womb, The Secret Money in Your Womb. I see you, DX Muhammad, saying day one in the building. DX Muhammad truly is a day one. Y'all, before I was even with Fly Nubian Queen since 2017. And I was on Facebook with Fly Nubian before I came here. Our brother was listening to your sister when I had a little fledgling audience on the radio, a little radio podcast that I was doing once or twice a week. So yes, you were, brother. You are one of my day one. Somebody talk black to me. And that's why I have such mad respect for our dear brothers, because they've been a big support of mine from the beginning. So anyway, family, I want my sisters to know The Secret Money in Your Womb Part 3, The Secret Money in Your Womb Part 3, a special 2-hour webinar series that literally is changing the lives of women all over the place. I did my finale 2-hour, really it was almost 3 hours this last one. It was amazing. And I still had more gems to drop, but I had to cut it off because people were so patient and listening. And y'all were still in the building heavy when I was giving those gems. But you can catch the replay. For those of you that missed it, you were so very, 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 very blessed and fortunate. We're going to make it available for a limited time. And you'll have access to the first 2 I did as well. So all 3 of The Secret Money in Your Womb, teaching you how women manifest differently from men using our womb. I want you to go to FlyNubianMastermind.com. The link is in the chat. FlyNubianMastermind.com if you want to get access just to those webinars. If you join my weekly mastermind, matter of fact, I'm doing it tonight, ClubVicki.com for only $1. If you join my weekly mastermind for only $1 for the first 30 days, you will get access to all 3 as well as previous weekly masterminds that's guaranteed to change your life. So one of 2 ways, go to ClubVicki.com, join my weekly mastermind for $1, get all kinds of goodies, ClubVicki, ClubVicki.com for $1. Or if you don't want to join the weekly mastermind, no problem. Go to FlyNubianMastermind.com. You won't regret it. All right. Thank you for your patience while I gave those announcements, family. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Now let's get right on into it. Now, for the past couple of days, because this has been out there now for a minute, and I had obviously some other news that I needed to get to, but I had already told you guys earlier that I plan on getting to it, and I'm here to do it. And I'll explain to you why this is important. Some of you all think that some of you have been misled to believe that this is not an important issue, or again, somehow this is an attack, on another Black person. And I want you to know that unfortunately you are quite wrong. This is the most serious topic that must be highlighted, that must be discussed, because it has to do with government, and it has to do with politics, it has to do with laws, and it has to do with the life of Black people. This is an exposition, a revealing of how Black people are used to keep us in bondage. This has to do with how one arm of white supremacy, specifically the Democratic Party, pimps what they call your power. The only power that the Democratic Party tells you Negroes you have is voting. Somebody talk black to me. We got the gavel today, baby. This is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. I said we are the original. This is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. Talk black to me. Watch this. Watch this. So, as I go through today's show, today's broadcast, you will understand it even more. Now, it hit the presses. I said it hit the presses. Over the past 2 or 3 days, major print publications have been really picking this up. We've been seeing Black folks tweeting about it because that's what we do. And we've been seeing other white news publications officially discussing this. Now, this is the article. There were many, and you can find that out as well. You can fact check and vet what I'm saying with relative ease. This is one of the headlines from The Hill. Let me turn it so you can see it. One of the headlines from The Hill. Look at what this headline says, family. This one was written yesterday. What does the headline say? Somebody say, are you ready for some football? I see y'all got the footballs in the chat. Talk black to me. Some of y'all don't understand why we're talking about football. You'll see in a minute. The headline from The Hill says, Symone Sanders, here she is. It says, Symone Sanders, one more time, hurt, that's a quote, at being passed over for press secretary. Symone Sanders, quote, hurt at being passed over for press secretary. Now, the reason why we're emphasizing this is because who told you first, a year and some change ago, that this was the unique biscuit? This was the gourmet bone that Symone Sanders was after. May I humbly submit to you that I was one, and there were a few others, but certainly your sister with the curly braids. Can I just say that your sister with the curly braids a long, long time ago, was I not one of the ones who initially and originally told you that this was the gourmet biscuit and bone that she was after? You didn't need to be a deep prophetic person to see and to know this is what she was after. But she played it off like that wasn't what she was after. We told you a long time ago that the political prostitution that she volunteered for Jim Crow Joe Biden, was for one thing and one thing only. It was for a biscuit. It was for a bone. We are, as responsible Black fourth estate, fourth power entities, we're doing a follow-up on what we told you a long time ago, because we're also trying to highlight how the white media is slow. The white media is just now covering this because the white media is nothing but the mouthpiece for white supremacy in the first place. Contrarily, Black media is the mouthpiece for the Black grassroots. We are a voice for Black America. Are y'all hearing me today? Now, Vicky, get on to it. Okay. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Now, let me read for you a little bit of this article. Let me read for you a little bit of this article. Again, I'm reading from The Hill. All right. Give me just a quick second to pull this back up. All right, dear family. Thank you for coming on in, giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. You are tuned in to our Black Prime Time, the Vicky Show. Excellent. Okay, here we are. It says Symone Sanders, a senior advisor to Vice President Harris. Now, remember when she was on the trail, when she was with the campaign before they won, remember, she was hired as a quote unquote senior advisor. How many of y'all remember that? Just a little bit of history. Symone Sanders was originally known in terms of nationally because she was a spokesperson for Bernie Sanders' campaign. She then moved over to work with Joe Biden's campaign, and she shocked so many people because they felt, hey, how could you go from such a progressive white campaign that is Bernie Sanders to someone like Joe Biden? I was not surprised at all because I don't make distinctions between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Some of you all think that Bernie Sanders is good white people. I don't. Bernie Sanders wants benefits and advantages for everybody, especially for rural white America, for middle America. He's talking about white people. Don't forget that a lot of the voters that voted for Bernie were some of the same exact voters for Trump. He has an appeal for these white racists for a reason, but that's neither here nor there. Bernie Sanders, I have no respect for as it relates to black people. It's because Bernie Sanders, he's for trillions of dollars in free college. He's for debt cancellation for everybody. He's for everybody getting universal health care. I'm all about that and stuff. He believes in these big, massive, multi-trillion-dollar programs that gives goodies and freebies to everybody. But when you talk about a multi-trillion-dollar program that specifically gives black people reparations because we built the country, sustained the country, invented the country, maintained the country, we're the reason why everybody can enjoy this thing that they call the American dream, though it's based on the American, our very bloody black American nightmare. Bernie Sanders, he's for the trillion-dollar benefits for everything else but reparations for black people. So when you see a black-looking person that capes for Bernie, you got to look at him with a side eye. What I look like rejoicing because he believes in white people getting goodies too. You are no good for black folks because you believe everybody should get a whole bunch of benefits that the thieves and the robbers and the racists shouldn't be entitled to. Black people, you got to understand, you don't get to rejoicing and getting excited because somebody else has credentialized this nut and told you he was good white people. Our standard for calling somebody good is whether or not they're doing something specifically and substantively for black people. Somebody talk black to me. But I digress. Get on with the show, Vicky, for the football. So let's get back to the article, The Hill. Symone Sanders, all the major press outlets are covering it now. Symone Sanders is hurt at being passed over for press secretary. Watch this. Symone Sanders, a senior advisor to Vice President Harris, was reportedly hurt after being passed over for the White House press secretary job. According to, watch this, a wide-ranging Washington Post feature. Now, Washington Post is not known for being some quote-unquote liberal outlet. Listen. According to a wide-ranging Washington Post feature on Sanders and her fiancé, D.C. Director of Culture and Nightlife, Sean Townsend, Bakari Sellers, y'all know Bakari. Bakari Sellers is one of the attorneys that's on the case for our brother Andrew in North Carolina, and Bakari is also a contributor on CNN. He's an attorney. Bakari Sellers, a civil rights attorney and mutual friend of the couple, y'all listen, said Sanders was, quote, stung after Biden ultimately chose former Obama communications director Jen Psaki for the press secretary job. Sanders worked for the presidential campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders. Of course, I told you guys that before. In 2016, before becoming an advisor on President Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. Y'all watch this. Townsend, that's Symone's fiance. Townsend echoed Sellers' sentiment. Now watch this. Symone Sanders recently got engaged. And so this is a couple of, well, let's just do one because it's only so much optic terrorism that I don't want to subject my audience to too much of this. But this is Symone and her man. No disrespect. The people that are enemies to Black society, you know, I just don't have a whole lot of respect for. So this is Symone and her fiance. We ain't making fun of them. We're just going to leave it at that. That's Mr. So what I'm talking about, when the article references Townsend, this is who they're talking about. Her fiance, right? No disrespect, family. Watch this. So, in addition to Bakari Sellers saying that she was stung, watch this. Townsend, her fiance, echoed Sellers' sentiment, telling the Post she was definitely hopeful that she would have that opportunity. Sellers said Sanders, quote, spent a lot of capital. Y'all listen. Sellers, that's Bakari, said Sanders spent a lot of capital as senior advisor to Biden's 2020 campaign, frequently being asked to defend the candidate when the campaign, quote, had a problem with the Black community. Y'all listen to these confessions. Isn't that a song? These are my confessions. So they're trying to give us a little bit of Black Palace intrigue, I guess, right now, that none of us are really interested in. We're only discussing this to highlight how right we are, how weak American government and society is, and we're using this to further prove our case while we need to do for self, and while we need to not only reimagine, but begin to activate and execute a new plan for Black liberation. Somebody Black talk Black to me. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. I want y'all to really think about what Bakari Sellers is saying. Now, first of all, y'all got to really think. You got to ask yourself, why is it that after all this time, after she did all of this raccooning and Aunt Jemima-ing and boning and the biscuificationing and the bootlicking for Joe Biden, why is it that she's just now talking about this? Oh, just hang out with me. Y'all know I'm going to break it down and make it make sense and connect the dots. That's what we do. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Listen. So now you're hearing her fiance leak this information. They telling it now. Bakari Sellers, that's a good friend of theirs, is telling it. Listen to what Bakari said. I'm going to say this part again. Bakari says she spent a lot of capital as senior advisor to Biden's 2020 campaign, frequently being asked to defend the candidate when the campaign had a problem with the Black community. Didn't we tell you guys that they specifically chose this Aunt Jemima as a liaison to the Black community? Didn't we break down? Somebody said, love your wording, Vicky. You know what we got to do. Y'all know there's a such thing as a Victionary, not the dictionary, the Victionary. I got a whole book of Vicky words. Shout out to Black media. We do it our way. Watch this. Didn't we tell you guys that they hired her to be the liaison for Black society? But we told y'all from the jump, we never respected her funny looking self. We considered her to be a reject. We saw her as a traitor. We didn't listen to her. She was ineffective when it came down to the Black grassroots. Watch this. He says she spent a lot of capital as senior advisor to Biden's 2020 campaign. Watch this. Frequently being asked to defend the candidate when the campaign had a problem with Black community. See, that's what a bad wench does. See, when a racist, disgusting, disrespectful Joe Biden does a frontal job. See, Joe Biden wasn't hiding his racism. When Joe Biden openly disrespected Black society, she twitched around on the auction block. She wasn't compelled and pulled and dragged on the auction block. No, she treated the auction block. The auction block was a platform that we used to be forced to get on so that prospective white masters could pick and choose what slave they wanted to buy. We used to be forced to get on that stage. Now you bones and biscuits and you sellouts, you Aunt Jemimas, you lawn members, you all use that like a runway. You strut now on the auction block. No, the white man doesn't rip open your clothes and force you to turn around and twirl and show your arms and show your teeth so that they can see how healthy you are and pick you as a slave. No, you start modeling. You genuflect, you twirl, you bow. You bend. You treat the auction block like a runway today. You audition nowadays. Watch this. Watch this. Let's go back to what he said. It goes on. Watch this. So Bakari says she spent a lot of capital frequently being asked to defend the candidate. Think about that. Joe Biden acts like himself, which means he does a lot of racist stuff because he's racist. He says things that offend Black society. So when he screwed up, they brought in what they considered to be their Negro whisperer to do the dirty job, and she volunteered. I say it. Bakari and them. Symone Sanders is, all her entire football team is acknowledging that she did the linebacking. She covered for this racist. Again, she was being called upon. These are not my words, family. These are their admissions. These are their confessions. These are their confessions. They're saying when he screwed up with Black folk, she volunteered to do the dirty work. Somebody say she knew what she was getting into. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Notably, the article says, notably, Sanders defended Biden. That's Symone. Sanders defended Biden after he told radio host Charlamagne tha God that if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or for Trump, then you ain't Black. That was one of the most offensive, openly racist thing that Joe Biden said. He said so many. She went out there, which means she knew what he said was a problem. She knew what he said was racist, but she was willing to lie. Let's stop being fluffy and cute. Symone was willing to lie for this white supremacist. This Negro whisperer was willing to lie for this racist. Listen, you might have forgotten. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use, is used to is use permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Some of you all notice how this article is quoting this Charlamagne tha God interview. Who been quoting that for you? Long before the white people start to print these lyme confessions. How many of you all remember I played that for you on a couple of occasions? Somebody talk Black to me. Is that right? Y'all must have forgotten.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Hey, stop right there. No disrespect to Charlemagne. I know Charlemagne was trying to put out several racist fires for Joe Biden. But Charlemagne should have punched that white supremacist verbally, not physically. He should have punched that white supremacist verbally in the nose and in the mouth for disrespecting us like that.
Look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. They end up.
Listen to this fool. Listen to this racist. He said that he extended the Voting Rights Act for 25 years. Wait a minute. The Voting Rights Act is supposed to be extended for all citizens, fool. You claiming that you helped to extend something that's supposed to be given to every citizen is acting like you're doing something special for us. That's supposed to come with the territory as a citizen. And the fact that Joe Biden is highlighting that proves to you guys that you are not true, full citizens. Charlemagne should have punched him verbally in the mouth. He should have shut down all other conversations and said, what did you just say? Charlemagne should have acted on my how dare you training. There was no other conversation that they should have proceeded to until he first checked him on the fact that you ain't black. This racist white man had the nerve to tell a black melanin man, you ain't black. First of all, we know full and darn well that we're the mothers and fathers of civilization. We know full well that of all the people on the planet, you're the newest ones, Joe. Who do you think you talking to, newness? Newness. You're talking to your mother and father. You're talking to the Ancient of Days. You're talking to the beginning and the end. You're talking to people who have no birth record and no death record. I said, what you say, fool? But I digress.
ACPs endorse me every time.
I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACPs endorse me every time I've run.
Which is why black society has no respect for the NAACP. Now you guys understand why we cannot have respect for the NAACP, the Urban League, the Reverend Al Sharptons, and them, or any of your funny looking proteges. Because the NAACP and them, based even on Joe Biden's confession, means you guys supported him when he did nothing substantive for us. You still put him in power to rule over you. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't hit that thumbs up button, would you? If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, sometimes my show is aired on other platforms where there's not a thumbs up button because it's a different platform than the one you're watching me on now. Whatever emoji, whatever means they allow you to engage, to share, to follow, to comment, please do so on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 share. At the bottom of your screen, there should be a share button. If you look at the share button, all you need to do is copy it and paste it on your other social media platforms. Text it to someone, email it to someone, and let everybody know that our prime time show is on the Vicky Show, the network for melanated people just like you. Listen.
The world, I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
I've been critical of you. I have a few things.
So yeah, we took a look at your record. You sitting there talking about 25 years ago, some Voting Rights Act. Family, when people start telling us that they did something about the Voting Rights Act, family, you should see that as a spit in the face. White people automatically, that's not special. All citizens are supposed to have that. When they tell you they're doing something for you that's supposed to be automatic and something that every citizen has the right to have, you should see that as a spit in the face. They want you to be excited about a right that's already yours. That's not nothing extra, fool. Let's get back to this Symone Sanders, this LOM member. Let's get back to this article. What else do these confessions say? Remember it said, Bakari Sellers said something about the fact that Bakari Sellers says she gave a lot of capital. She spent a lot of capital. And she was called upon frequently to defend the candidate when the candidate had a problem with the Black community. Right? It says that Mark was widely criticized. Nevertheless, Sanders took to Twitter to defend her candidate. What did Symone Sanders say when Joe Biden, you heard with your own ears, right? When Joe Biden sat there and said, if you can't determine whether you're going to vote for me or Trump, you ain't Black. Symone knew that was racist. She knew that was wrong. She knew that was an affront to Black society. Symone's interest was not about making sure your interests were looked after. She was hired to make sure his was, which is why we consider her to be a LOM member, a notorious League of Mammy member, and a traitor to Black society. And none of us are about to shed a tear because you, quote unquote, are hurt. But I'm going to tell you why she's saying it right now, though. Oh, well, let me connect the dots. Y'all just hang out with me. Let's go to her tweet. Do you all remember? May 5th, 2020. Y'all know all I do is receipts. Here's the actual tweet from her. After Joe Biden, the statement you just heard him make with Charlamagne the God. And by the way, no disrespect to Charlamagne the God, but it's a reason why these white supremacists feel comfortable going to him and them. The couple times where Charlamagne did something right, or I felt that there was something teachable, I tell y'all that. I don't dog people and I don't highlight stuff just to do it. No, I'm really about that life of making sure that our people are treated right. And so necessarily, I'm going to give you that work if I feel that you're not. But let's go back to this notorious LOM member. Look, Symone Sanders, y'all see this? This is her tweet. Dated what? May 22nd. Let's hear directly from her when Joe Biden came out with this explicit racist and disrespectful comment. Vice President Biden spent his career fighting alongside and for the African American community. Somebody said the devil is a lie. He won his first party's nomination by earning every vote and meeting people where they are. And that's exactly what he intends to do this November. Look at part 2. Listen to what she says is the excuse for him making that racist statement about we're not Black if we don't vote for him versus Trump. Look. The comments made at the end of the Breakfast Club interview were in jest. Do you all see now why I have to give Black women who shield the racist white supremacist? Do y'all see now why I do what I do? When they screw up, you jump out there to lie for them, to cover for them. What does that mean when you jump out there to lie for our open enemy and to cover for them? That means you are the reason they continue to do it with impunity. That means without punishment, without consequence, without responsibility. When you Negroes run out there and lie for a liar, when you cover for an oppressor, that's not nothing. Especially when you do it on the level of the White House, the man that's the most powerful person on the earth, going for a position, for the most powerful position on the planet, who impacts laws. Laws are things you are compelled to comply with, family. Somebody talk black to me. She says the comments made at the end of the Breakfast Club interview were in jest. But let's be clear about what the VP was saying. He was making the distinction that he would put his record with the African American community up against Trump any day, period. When you're a gatekeeper for the white supremacist, when you shrug your shoulders to them revealing themselves, and when you guys, that's before Joe Biden won the nomination, remember? It was those same people, Charlamagne, Tamika, and all the rest of you, told us, we got to get Trump out. You said Trump is racist. Trump is making America into a new Nazi Germany. That's what some of y'all were saying. Some of you guys were saying he's changing America. You said that he was activating and unleashing the white supremacists. But Joe Biden on the trail before he won the nomination was openly saying these types of things. And you guys didn't have that same energy. See, when you show a preference for one open white supremacist over the other, we got to give you this work. We're looking at you wondering, okay, are you in the pocket of the Democratic Party? Because see, if you're in the pocket of the Democratic Party, that means you're a D1, not B1. This is what I was discussing on our brother's channel Saturday. Brother, shout out to Black Authority who had me on, as well as our brother Jason Reed, a prominent Black blogger and writer. Watch this. This is what the Black Authority asked me. He said something about, he asked me, what would it take for them to quote unquote accept me? I'm paraphrasing his question. And I said, oh, if I was D1 instead of B1, I would definitely be in. D1 meaning Democrat first and not black first. See, Vicky is not going to sit there and snap her neck like Angela Rye was doing sometimes on CNN and moving, flailing your fingers all around, looking like a sister girl and looking like you are really opposing white supremacy. But at the end of the day, when you're doing all that talking, you still tell us to go vote for Joe Biden and don't ask for no reparations yet. You still tell us to vote even though they have not confirmed that they're going to do something for black people. See, Vicky won't do that. If I'm going to be up there twitching and twirling my neck for black people, I'm not going to turn around and tell you, go ahead and vote Democrat, and they telling you they're not going to do nothing for you. I'm not telling you not to vote. I'm saying stop being a slave and get something for your vote. I said, I'm not telling you not to vote. I'm telling you to stop being a slave and get something for your vote. Only slaves do something for nothing. I said only slaves do something for nothing. Only slaves do something for nothing. Your traitorous black Negro whisperers were angry with us because we said we're not going to vote for you just to be voting for you. We said it's quid pro quo. That means one hand washes the other. Notice they got upset because we demanded something in exchange. Anybody that gets mad at you for demanding something in exchange for your vote, that lets you know who's the slave. That lets you know who's master's plaything. Talk black to me. Thumbs up, share, family. But let's go back to the article. What else? These moments were not few and far between, Sellers told the Post. Y'all think about this confession. They're actually, when I say they, I'm talking about your funny looking traitorous black voices that's on CNN and in the White House, like Bakari Sellers. They're admitting that they covered, that they volunteered to cover for white supremacists. Listen, Sellers said these moments were not few and far between. What moments? Remember, he was saying just before that, the moments that they called upon her to defend the candidate when he, to the black community. Remember? Listen, I'm quoting him. He says these moments were not few and far between, Sellers told the Post. They would send Symone out to take those bullets and then to be passed over. That hurt. Wow. Bakari Sellers is admitting that regularly they sent this black mammy to take the hit. He literally uses the words bullets. And she willfully took them. I'm going to read a little bit more, but you got to ask yourself, why now is Bakari talking about this? Why now is Mr. Townsend, her fiance, now saying these things openly to the press? Y'all know Vicki gonna connect the dots. All the time. Y'all remember how those black folk out there was telling us we was missing it? They was telling us to shut up. They told us that we was just hating on her when we told y'all that's what that was what was going on. They told us we were being too hard when we were going off, telling you guys that she was willfully, we were rebuking her, and others like we were rebuking her, and others like her because they were intentionally covering for Joe Biden. Now they're admitting this is what they did. And they want us to be sympathetic to their treachery. Let me tell y'all what this is about. Y'all said, whoever said that Keisha Bottoms is a crash dummy, you exactly right. All these black crash dummies. Watch this. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. And don't forget, beloved family, tonight is our weekly mastermind. I'm live on Wednesday nights. Sign up today at clubvicki.com for $1. If you're working hard and you're dealing with some invisible blockages, you feel like that you're doing everything that's necessary for your life to pop off, and you feel like that there's some sort of blockage, I believe that I might be able to help you with our metaphysical, spiritual, weekly mastermind courses. Join today for only $1, clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. We're live tonight. And after I break down a spiritual principle, toward the last quarter of the class, you have exclusive access to me to ask me questions. You don't want to miss it. Join today, clubvicki.com. The link is in the chat. Also, even if you're not available live on Wednesday nights, it's still a good thing for you to sign up. Guess what? Because we upload the courses shortly after I go live, and you still have access to everything. So you still want to connect. You can still get the information and the knowledge. Clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Listen, let me go further. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, share, share, share. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all listen. These are some confessions, ain't it? But we were right about the confessions, and we told y'all in advance. Watch. Back to Bakari Sellers. He says these moments were not few and far between. They would send Symone out to take those bullets and then to be passed over. That hurt. We told her dumb self she was going to be passed over. We told you was a crash dummy. We told you that you was the bed wench. We told you was being the mammy. We told you was a plaything. What do you mean you were hurt? The only reason you were hurt, Symone, is because you listened to the white man over your own black brother and sister. I'm going to say it again. Symone, the only reason you're hurt is not because you weren't told. It's not because you didn't have advanced knowledge. It's because you chose to listen to your open enemy over your own brother and sister. Why? Because you wanted nearness to whiteness and you wanted the supreme biscuit. You wanted the bone that none of us could give you. No matter how much money you can make in Black society, no matter how much you can do good in entrepreneurship and other areas, one thing we can't give you is whiteness. Nothing took you by surprise. Watch this. It says Sanders made it known, y'all. Y'all better pay attention. So the whole time, remember when we was calling out Symone Sanders? Remember when we were publicly saying, girl, you know they're using you. When we was calling her out and saying Joe Biden is going to do this to you, they're just using you. You making a fool of yourself. Y'all remember that? Remember when we publicly said these things and Symone blew us off? She was laughing us off like you little peasants, you little Negro peasants. She was laughing us off, excited because she was close to vice presidents, former presidents. She could smell the White House. She had access to places we didn't, so she felt she knew more. She felt she knew better. Somebody talk black to me. Watch this. Listen to what the article says now. Sanders, that's Symone, made it known privately and in her recently published memoir that she was interested in the press secretary post and becoming the first Black woman to hold the job, the Post noted. This crash dummy. She made it known privately and publicly. See, she was willing to make it look like we were dumb. She was willing to look like we didn't know what we was talking about. But the whole time, she's making it privately known. Before she publicly even made it known through her memoir. So you got to say to yourself, why are we just now being told that this is how she feels? Why is this information coming out now, family? The reason, let me pull up the receipts. I got to pull up another article. I'm pulling up an article right now from Business Insider. BusinessInsider.com. Business Insider covered this just a few days ago. What does this headline say? For those of you that don't know, the person that currently occupies a position that Symone Sanders thought she was finna get. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this. This is a lady that currently holds a position in the White House as press secretary that Symone, the job that Symone wants, right? Watch this. Uh-oh. I'm dropping stuff. Watch this. The job that Symone thought she was getting ready to get, y'all, with a straight face. She thought she was getting ready to get this job with a straight face. I done dropped my spoon. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up. The current white press secretary just recently announced White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says she'll resign next year when it's, quote, time for somebody else to have this job. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said she plans to leave the role next year to spend more time with her family. I think it's going to be time for somebody else to have this job in a year from now or about a year from now, Psaki said in an interview with CNN's David Axelrod, her former colleague in the Obama administration, on Thursday. Psaki, who delivers regular press briefings as the public face of President Joe Biden's administration, said she wanted to be able to spend more time with her two young children. I don't want to miss moments. I don't want to miss things. And I'm very mindful of that as well, she said. It's a great job. It would be hard, but I also never thought I'd be here. I also love my kids a lot. You all are wondering, why is Symone now allowing her fiance, Bakari Sellers, and them to hear all of this? She's going to the press talking about how hurt she was publicly now because she wants to pressure Joe Biden to still pick her. She's publicly doing it, family, because she wants to humiliate them into picking her as the next press secretary, because Jen Psaki has made it official that she plans to leave the White House within a year or so. Why am I bringing this up? This makes my point that Symone Sanders is a disgusting sellout, a pathetic Aunt Jemima, and a supreme tool for white supremacy. Because number one, she was willing to keep it quiet publicly this whole time, because the average person ain't paying no attention to that book. So she's got her mouthpieces speaking for her, like her fiance Townsend and like Bakari Sellers. This is her way of putting pressure on Joe Biden to say it was me that deserved the biscuit. Why? Not only because you sent me out there to take multiple bullets for you after you were openly, publicly racist and offended Black society. You called on me to do it again and I kept taking bullets. No, fool. She said I did what no other would ever do, especially no self-respecting Black woman would do. No self-respecting Black woman. Y'all better pay attention. Thumbs up, share, share, share. For those of you that are just coming in, my name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome to the broadcast, beloved. As you come in, we do ask that you give us a thumbs up, share, share, share. Let everybody know that our Black Primetime weekday show is on The Vicki Show, live on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Symone did what no other would ever do for an openly racist white supremacist.
In the neighborhoods we come from, the three.
Look at Symone. Look at Symone.
What's that?
Put your footballs in the chat.
What's that?
Put your footballs in the chat.
What?
After that was over, Symone publicly said she broke her nail. Black women don't break out nails for nobody. I saw a clip of her where she was in a nail shop getting her nail done because after she put all of her body, after she put all of that body on a non-violent, non-dairy protester to defend the physical life of Joe Biden and his wife, she put her life on the line for them. And then she took to disrespecting black society on behalf of this racist white man. The white supremacists will humiliate you every time, black family. You will be made a fool of every time. She didn't let the security team jump up there. She preempted the people that's paid, the people that has the necessary weaponry and training. Like a good slave. Like a good slave that's auditioning. That was the ultimate audition for the press secretary job, family. Jen Psaki was chilling at home. She was at the park with them two kids that she said she finna get ready to go home to in a year. Jen Psaki was chilling. She was getting her nails done. She was at the spa. She was having playtime with her kids while Symone was out there doing what Aunt Jemima's do. Sweat and breathe hard. Do physical labor for the white supremacists. Jen Psaki was chilling and she got picked after doing absolutely nothing for Joe Biden. That's what you call white privilege. You were humiliated. So the reason, for those of you that aren't connecting the dots, Symone has been hurt since they've been in the White House. Why is it that she did not permit Bakari Sellers and her fiance to tell the world that? That's because since Jen Psaki made it official that she plans to leave the White House in a year, she's trying to pressure the Biden administration watch this. She's trying right now, while they're trying to figure out who's getting ready to be the next press secretary. She thinks that they are going to pick this to represent, to be the face of the Biden administration in the United States. No disrespect, sis. But she thinks they're fixing to make this the face, the press secretary. Why am I bringing this up? She laughed at us. You mocked us, Symone. Symone told black men to shut up when they criticized Kamala Harris. Somebody talk black to me. Symone says this is what they're going to make the next press secretary. She thinks a white supremacist is going to respect this. In black society, we love a natural sister. They don't. They was laughing at you privately to even think that that was going to be a choice. They knew as long as they made you think that that would be a possibility, you would put your life and limb on the line, and that's exactly what you did. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not saying that this woman is not beautiful. I'm saying that the white supremacist, that is Joe Biden, who you represent, picked a redhead white woman while you were sitting out there flopping all your body around, breaking your nails and humiliating yourself. They picked her over you. So right now, she thinks she's a political mastermind. Why are you using that language, Vicki? Political mastermind. Why are you using that specific language, political mastermind? Well, beloved. Well, beloved. How many of you all know during the political campaign? Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. Look. This is a tweet. Y'all know all I do is receipts. This is a tweet from Symone Sanders. dated February 5th, 2019. I was giving her the work then. Some of y'all knew. Why does Vicki talk about LAM all the time, the League of Marriage, these black women that disrespect black people on behalf of white people? This is why. I've been doing this a long time now. Look at this. What does this tweet from Symone Sanders from February 5th of 2019 say, Vicki? I just wanted you to know she said this. Look, when a black man by the name of Uncle Luke, he did a political op-ed. Kamala was trying to get the vote, and I think this was out of Florida. Uncle Luke was saying and discussing, rightly so, how Kamala Harris is going to have difficulty getting the black nomination because she's locked up so many black people, specifically black men. She's disrespected so many black men. He did a political op-ed piece in the paper saying that this is going to be a problem for her. In response to that political op-ed piece that he wrote that was accurate, Symone Sanders, this is not Vicki's words. Don't come to me with smoke. You need to check her and ask her, why does she disrespect black men and black people? What did Symone Sanders say in 2019? Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist. In other words, she was calling him stupid, and she was telling him, Negro, you stay in your place. What does she look like as a black woman going out there telling the world Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist? She didn't stop there with her critique of him. Guess what she said next? She broadened her criticism and said, why do black men? Y'all, let me put it big. Vicki I don't need to put words in her mouth. She got other things, white supremacist objects and items in her mouth. Look at her words. In context, look at her words. Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist. Her next critique: why do black men keep popping up with their unsolicited opinions about Kamala Harris? By saying that this man is no political mastermind, or strategist, she was calling him stupid. She was telling this black man, how dare you think you had the right to give a political opinion? And secondly, she broadened her criticism to all black men. I am not taking anything she said out of context. She said, why do black men keep popping up with their unsolicited opinions about Kamala Harris? Symone, this was 2019, y'all, and I was giving her that work then. So for some of you that don't understand why does Vicki do this, you're new. And it's fine to be new, but don't criticize me when it's them that's disrespecting us. But Symone, she dogged openly a black man who told the truth about Kamala's anti-black lock 'em up record. But she lied and defended a racist white man. She told black men to shut up. She told a specific black man, you're dumb and this is above your pay grade. But she defends, lies, and protects a white racist. Make it make sense. She told a black man, you're stupid, you're dumb. This is above your pay grade. Paraphrasing it. And then she tells black men in general that she was sick of their unsolicited opinions. She was telling black men, stop weighing in on political issues. Keep your comments to yourself. But she wants us to cry a river with her after acknowledging she intentionally lied for and defended Joe Biden, her white zaddy. Y'all should be offended that this Black woman would tell Black men to shut up. But she would spread wide her political legs for her white zaddy. You disgust me, Symone. And Symone is not doing this because she's trying to expose how she was done wrong. Family, don't you know that when they passed over her the first time, she was hurt then? Symone came out with a public statement after it was announced that they weren't picking her. She came out talking about how she's happy with her position. She was willing to lie. She was willing to play the political game. Now she's pretending she's a victim, not because it's the right thing to do and she's trying to expose their duplicity. She's doing it to secure the biscuit. When did Al Sharpton, NAACP, Urban League, and the rest of those pathetic, useless civil rights voices expose Joe Biden a couple of months ago? When did they go to the press? They only went to the press when Joe Biden and Kamala ignored them after they secured the nomination for presidency, when they didn't have access to whiteness. Symone. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. Everybody, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at VickiX Follow me on Instagram at VickiX Follow me on Instagram at VickiX Follow me on Twitter at DillardVicky. Follow me on Twitter at DillardVicky. This is also under the Copyright Act of 1976. After Joe Biden secured the election because of Black people, right? He ignored Reverend Al Sharpton. He ignored NAACP. He ignored Urban League. He ignored all them kind of Black people, right? They couldn't get a call through. So what did they do? They ran to the media. That's the same thing that she's doing. She's running to the media to secure the biscuit. Somebody said this is about the securitization of the biscuit. This is about the indemnification of a biscuit. This is about the securing of a bone and the indemnifying of a biscuit. This ain't got nothing to do with righteousness. This is about making sure that Joe Biden gives them the biscuit. What is the biscuit in the bone? The biscuit in the bone is a traitorous incentive to Black society because the biscuit in the bone is meant to incentivize one traitorous Negro. It means that only one of you gets a level of access and so-called success. That means she's in it for herself and not for Black society, not for the collective. I think this was about December of last year or so. Out of desperation. Because Reverend Al Sharpton, Urban League, NAACP, and them couldn't get their fix, their white zaddy fix. Just like a crackhead. How many of y'all know crack is white? How many of y'all know crack is white? How many of you all know, no disrespect for those of you that had true drug problems, but I'm liking them not having access to Joe Biden after giving him the nomination. They were having withdrawals. They started having the shakes. Not because they weren't worried about whether or not Joe Biden was going to give us reparations. They weren't caring about whether or not there was going to really be a strategic and specific Black agenda. They just wanted to have access. They specifically came out there saying he ain't answering, he ain't responding to our calls. They're not communicating with us about this. They're not talking to us about that. It was about them being able to, how many of y'all know smoking crack is white? Likewise, they couldn't get their hit. They couldn't get their fix. They was having withdrawals when Joe and them cut them off after they secured the nomination. So to get their fix, all they wanted to do was hear from Joe Biden, even if it meant him cussing them out. How many of you all know that when he met with Joe Biden, he said this in part?
Country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans. This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans. This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
The white media, including Reuters. Reuters is allegedly a legit white news outlet. But Reuters' white supremacist self, if you pull up that quote that Joe Biden said, you will find that the internet has scrubbed it in many places. And you will find that Reuters and other white publications are sitting out there putting out articles saying that's not true, that Joe Biden was saying that America was doomed because of black people. They're trying to say that the context that we're putting it in is wrong. He said America is doomed not just because of white people, which means he's not just because of black people, which means he's saying that the country is doomed in part because of black people and because white people are losing power because their numbers are decreasing. He said that statement in the presence of NAACP, Urban League, Al Sharpton, and them. And none of those funny looking sellouts checked him. None of them called him out on it. Do you guys see why we keep giving those organizations and those individuals this work? Because if you can sit there and let an open white supremacist say such things and you not check them, you in fact cover for them. But you keep telling us Donald Trump is the racist. It lets us know you don't have black interest. It lets us know you have Democratic interest. And you are willing to work with Joe Biden because he's the type of slave master that will at least give you access to the big house and get big biscuits and big bones. Do you guys understand finally one of the major reasons why we cannot trust those old Negroes? Because they are okay with rides on Air Force One. They're okay with just having access to Joe Biden and talking. But when he disrespects them in black society, they say nothing. In fact, one of them was sitting there scratching their heads and the others was pretending like this white man. They was allowing this white man to pimp them. And they sat there and they took it. Why did they take it? Because all they wanted was individual bones and biscuits for them. They say they're standing there for you, but if they meant well by black society, for black society at large, they would have made sure he didn't disrespect us like that. What are we going to do with so-called leaders like that? Symone was still putting on a brave face when Joe Biden and them came out and said that. Symone didn't object to that. Symone was still covering for that. Symone was still defending that. And now she wants to sit here and tell us she was hurt. Her exposing her being hurt has nothing to do with her revealing duplicity and racism amongst Joe Biden. It has to do with making sure that she puts pressure on the White House. So when they pick the new press secretary, because the white press secretary, Jen Psaki, said she plans on leaving in about a year or so, she's trying to make sure that they make good on the biscuits. Do you all understand this now? It makes her even more of a traitor. Somebody talk black to me. I said it makes her more of a traitor, family. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. Is this making sense? Don't forget, tonight is my weekly mastermind at clubvicki.com. You can join today for $1. You're basically getting a whole month free of life-changing insight and information at clubvicki.com. Join today right now for only $1. For my dear sisters, if you missed this past Saturday's amazing, almost 3-hour intensive talking about the secrets for manifesting that's locked up in our womb, I did the finale to a 3-part series. You can still get the replay. FlyNubianMastermind.com. Get it today. FlyNubianMastermind.com. FlyNubianMastermind.com. The link is in the chat. For those of you that are just coming in, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm typically here live Monday through Friday, weekdays, our prime time, our black prime time show with alternative black grassroots media, the Vicki Show right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. We, not me, we are the Vicki Show. So please make sure that you thumbs up, that you share, share, share. Would you do it on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 family. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Thank you so much. I know it's the middle of the week and folks be doing all kinds of stuff, but we always believe at the right time, folk will hear our broadcast. We're growing in a healthy manner, and we're doing it because of you. Family, I may not be as big as some folk, but I'm telling you, we're reaching and we're touching the world. Not only am I a contributor here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, but we have affiliate networks and channels where my show is often re-aired. So we're reaching a growing number of people on different platforms, not just on the platform you're watching us on. I'm also a contributor on another large, powerful black network. I want you all to know that our broadcasting, our seeding, our message is taking root. Never despise the days of small beginnings. Presidents, candidates, politicians, high-level influential people are quoting us, watching us, listening to us. And we're in our winning season. Even when some of them try to censor us, they try to block us, they try to disrespect us, it ultimately won't work. We are rising. I said we are rising. I've been saying this for a long time now. The power in this season is coming from the ground up. That means from us, those that are considered to be the voiceless, the nobodies, the deaf, the dumb, the blind, the least of these. It's our time. We're determining our own destiny. We're the ones that's the king makers. We're the ones that's defrocking the illegitimate. Somebody talk black to me. Watch this. Give me just a moment. I'm getting ready to, give me just a few moments. I'm going to, a couple of more minutes here. I'm going to get ready for my mastermind today. So I'm not going to go on too long, but just give me a few more minutes, okay? I wanted to go back and pull this article from a few years ago. How many of y'all remember Tavis Smiley? How many of y'all remember Tavis Smiley had a show on PBS that was a very influential show? His good friend, Dr. Cornel West, remember they were criticizing Barack Obama during his administration, right? But one of their greatest oppositions, one of the greatest defenders of Barack Obama, even when Barack Obama was selling us out, when Barack Obama was disrespecting us, guess who? How many of you all remember the rat that needs to go eat, the fat rat that needs to eat? That fat rat that needs to go eat. How many of y'all know who I'm talking about? Who was one of the most public defenders of Barack Obama, who publicly beefed with black folks who were pressuring Obama to do more for black people. How many of you all remember that fat rat that stood in the way of progress by defending Obama? Yeah, Roland Martin was one from a distance, but there was another. You got it right. Al Sharpton. So I pulled up this old piece from the Set Times. This is from 2010. Yes, I'm trying to show you how far back the betrayal goes. It goes further back than that, but I'm using an administration, which at this time was obviously the Obama administration. And I'm trying to remind you guys of what was going on then, because some of you may not know, some of you may have forgotten, but it's not these things that you're seeing now with Bakari Sanders trying to defend Symone trying to act like she's a victim. I'm trying to let you guys know that these biscuits have been in place a long time. They've been double dealing and selling you out for a long time, family. Listen to this piece. Criticizing President Barack Obama is a hard sell in the black community. Even with the Great Recession wreaking havoc in every nook and cranny of African-American life, it's not easy to get a discouraging word from black folks about America's first black president. See, y'all was quiet about him for a long time because you was giving this black-looking man the benefit of the doubt. I get it. Watch this. It says, and those who do utter such words often face community enmity and questions about their motives. Because it's talking about how blacks were intensely loyal to Obama, even though we were catching hell under Obama. We were dying at disastrous rates. And we were losing economically more than any other group in terms of proportionality. Listen. It says, but as president, Obama has had to present our traumatic racial history as a narrative of American majesty. I'm skipping this mess. Watch this. This conflict broke into view during a public spat between former presidential candidate activist Reverend Al Sharpton and Tavis Smiley, the commentator and author. On the popular Tom Joyner morning show, y'all listen to the betrayal. On the popular Tom Joyner morning show, Smiley, that's Tavis Smiley, told radio listeners, quote, listen to what Tavis said. Tavis was exposing Obama for what he was. We already knew it. But somebody like Tavis Smiley saying it took it to another level. Watch. Tavis Smiley said on Tom Joyner's show, quote, a chorus of black leaders have started singing a new song, saying that the president doesn't need a black agenda. Did y'all hear what Tavis Smiley said publicly? Tavis Smiley said what? A chorus of black leaders have started singing a new song saying that the president doesn't need a black agenda. I must have missed that choir rehearsal because I don't know the words to this new hymn. Do we think we can give President Obama a pass on black issues and somehow, when he is no longer in office, resurrect the moral authority to hold future presidents accountable to our concerns? Watch this. Who is he talking about, y'all? That good question was prompted by public comments Sharpton made following a White House meeting that he, NAACP President Benjamin Jealous, and National Urban League President Mark Morial had with Obama. The same three major sellout suspects. Sharpton, NAACP, at the time that was President President Benjamin Jealous, and the third one, National Urban League, Mark Morial. Sharpton, y'all listen, reportedly said the president need not ballyhoo a black agenda. That's a quote from Al Sharpton. Did you all hear what this pathetic, disgusting raccoon said? Al Sharpton? When you're talking about ballyhoo family, that means basically praise or publicly or publicize extravagantly. Listen to what this fool said. In other words, Al Sharpton was saying, let me just say what he said. Sharpton reportedly said that the president need not, quote, ballyhoo a black agenda. He argued that Obama faced political constraints and could best assist distressed black communities with a broader race-neutral strategy. Your disgusting traitorous need to go eat the Reverend Al Sharpton rat, said under Obama's administration to shut up the public criticism of Tavis Smiley. Al Sharpton said that we need not ballyhoo. That's a quote. In other words, publicly or publicize it. He said we don't need to ballyhoo a black agenda. He argued that Obama faced political constraints and could best assist distressed black communities with a broader race-neutral agenda or strategy. Smiley strongly disagreed, the article says, and the feud was on. Expecting Obama to become, quote, a black exponent of black views was just stupid, Sharpton told Smiley in one of many testy exchanges. That dirty rat. During Smiley's criticism of the chorus of black leaders, he announced a gathering of experts in which discussion of a black agenda would take center stage. That event was held March 20th in Obama's hometown at Chicago State University and included 12 speakers, all of whom, to varying degrees, urged the president to focus on issues important to black Americans. Now, we can say what we want about, quote unquote, maybe the limitations of that black agenda that Tavis Smiley did, but to Tavis Smiley's credit, Tavis Smiley did a regular conference on a black agenda. And guess who was one of the main speakers that Tavis Smiley had there? Minister Louis Farrakhan and a bunch of others. It says Sharpton's National Action Network has scheduled a similar event during its annual conference, April 14th to the 17th in New York. And it's likely the panelists at his event will endorse the president's race-neutral approach. Race-neutral means Al Sharpton publicly criticized black folks who were publicly demanding a black agenda. He, at the urging, ostensibly, of Barack Obama, Al Sharpton, along with NAACP and Urban League, decided that they would be the attack dogs for Obama to tell Tavis to shut up about a specific black agenda. This is the same pattern that Symone Sanders is operating in. And do you all understand why white folks allow the Reverend Al Sharpton to have access on a white corporate network? Because he does not really push a specific black agenda. He confuses you and make you think that because you see him preaching at funerals talking about police brutality. Meanwhile, they're self-dealing and they're having these private conversations to where they agree to sell out a black agenda. And you guys wonder why we haven't made any progress. This is further evidence of why we do what we do. And I just want to let Symone know you have no right to be upset when you decided to play the political whore, sis. You have no right to be hurt, Symone, when you knew exactly what you were getting into. And we proved it because they're telling us you intentionally took the bullets. You intentionally went out there to cover for his racism, but you were doing it so that you could selfishly and individually benefit. You didn't take it so that you could pressure them to do something specifically for black society. You did it to secure a biscuit for you. And we calling out you pathetic traitors. She's only talking about it now, family, because Jen Psaki, the current white press secretary, announced that she may be leaving. She's going to be leaving the White House in about a year. And so Symone is trying to make sure that there's pressure on the White House to consider her or to choose her as the press secretary. These are traitors to Black society. I got to get ready to go, family, because I got to get ready for my mastermind that's happening in about 35 minutes. Make sure that you join today at clubvicki.com for only $1 for the first month. After that, it's very, very inexpensive. The gems that I drop, the life-changing insight that I give, beloved, I know it's worth way more. But we're trying to meet you at a price point that is sustainable for you right now. So make sure that you join today at clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Who knows if she's going to really get the job or not? But how dare you traitors? And the thing about this, they're admitting that's why she did it. I hope you didn't miss my show yesterday where I was talking about Tamika Mallory on The Breakfast Club, telling The Breakfast Club that she disagrees that Joe Biden hasn't done anything with Black people. If you missed yesterday's amazing show, it was not my words. Tamika Mallory went public. Excuse me. On The Breakfast Club. And she told Charlemagne the God that she disagreed. She said she challenges this notion that Joe Biden hasn't done anything for Black people. I expose it. Don't miss that. So make sure you check out yesterday's show. Make sure you share, and like this show today. Make sure that you check out our business school at flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to start a Black business, learn from Black people. And this is so important, family, for Black economic empowerment, for Black self-determination, for Black liberation, economics and finances at the center. Sign up today at flynubianmoney.com, flynubianbusiness.com. flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to learn about investments and money, go to flynubianmoney.com. The links are in the chat. Most importantly, don't forget to get the replay for this past Saturday's 2-hour amazing, really almost 3-hour mastermind called The Secret Money in Your Womb Part 3. I was specifically talking about money talks. And we discussed the unique ways in which women manifest differently from men using our womb. You don't want to miss it, sis. You can have access to all of these amazing lectures at flynubianmastermind.com, flynubianmastermind.com. Or if you join my weekly mastermind at clubvicki.com for $1, you get access to it all, plus many of my previous mastermind courses that are guaranteed to change your life, especially if you implement what I tell you to implement. Share, like. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Somebody said, beautiful show, sis. Well done. Great job. Thank you, Warren, for your kind words. Thank all of you so much for your support of this amazing channel, show, and network. Like, share, subscribe. Beloved, make sure that you tag all of the requisite bones and biscuits and expose what we showed you today even more. We're not sympathizing for a willful biscuit that sells out your people so that you can get individual bones. The devil is a liar. It didn't say cooperate with the devil. It says resist the devil. That's what the Vicki Show's about. We resist the devil and it says he'll flee. I said we resist the devil and he'll flee. And we're going to keep up the resistance. And that is exactly what I intend to do. When I provide you with commentary, when I try to inform and inspire my people, I'm providing you with resistance language, with resistance literature, as it were. Our brand, to give you the necessary wherewithal to fight in your respective vocations, whatever area of people activity that you're involved in dominantly, predominantly, your areas of your disciplines and so forth. That's what this is about. I want you all to take what you hear and figure out how can you implement this in your day-to-day life. Thank you so much for tuning in. I bow to you. I'm your sister with the curly braids. You are my bliss. I love you.